Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second lower bracket quarter-final. Today, we are going to be seeing Asai.net versus PS4 Group. Winner, of course, will be moving on to that lower bracket semi-final. And all that's left after that is the lower bracket final. And if they can make it through that, it is the grand final. But if anyone loses at any point, if a series is dropped, then they will be eliminated and have to wait for Season 1, which is now less than a month away. We're getting so close. As Magneto is going to be protected, Doctor Strange taken out, and Hawkeye also going to be removed. PS4 Group with their next protection. Before I start to break down how these teams got here, going to be seeing Hela taken out. All right, let's do a quick breakdown. In order to get here, PS4 Group made it through the upper bracket quarterfinals, taking out, this name's about to sound familiar, Asai.net in the upper bracket quarterfinals. PS4 Group, though, were then taken out in the upper bracket semi-finals by Hope in a 3-1. Asai.net got knocked down from the upper bracket quarterfinals in a 3-0 by PS4 Group. Asai.net, though, were then able to take out ANZ Falcons in a 3-1 and OCE Youngins in a 3-0. Asai.net now in our lower bracket quarterfinal have their chance to get revenge versus PS4 Group. Let's see if they can do it as we are set up for round number 1 in this best of 5. Starting off, nap time on that Magneto. Opans, the Doctor Strange player, but Doctor Strange was banned out. Going to be on the Mantis. Let's introduce the players properly as we head down the list. On the left-hand side is going to be Asai.net with Opans on the Mantis. Nap time playing the Magneto. Cowses is on the Loki. Suxris.Asai will be playing the Lunar Snow. I'm going to assume that is Saris? We're going to call them, the X starts with an E in the pronunciation, so we're going to call them Ceres for the sake of my pronunciation brain. They are playing that Lunar Snow. Kiwis is going to be playing on that Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, and Ragaliv's Matt will be playing the Groot. On the right, PS4 Group with the Mantis being played by a player whose name I can't pronounce. Same with the Incredible Hulk. Rutako will be playing the Black Panther. Deep Impact on their Hela, which is not being played at all by SI.net. Rex Monica will be on the Magneto, taken down as Justin Davies on the Lunar Snow is unable to keep them standing. We're in Asgard. Already trying to pressure in. Domination is the name of the game as PS4 Group trying to step up onto the point as Asai.net do get the first steps, but they've lost 2 members already and are getting forced backwards here. Ragaliv's Matt finally taken down. Naptime forced to back out. And PS4 Group will take the first initial point of control here. Naptime. Hyper-piling on the pressure, taking a little bit too much damage though. Rex Monica is playing it back. They're trying to match each other. We get that little bit of stutter at the start of the game. This is just what happens when you observe from Europe into Asia. We get these little stutters. And also something that I once again need to mention. You're seeing mouse and keyboard controls because I'm observing on mouse and keyboard. The players were playing on controller due to this being a console tournament. Trying to pressure in. Good bionic hook onto the Incredible Hulk. Trying to pop them down there. But they're able to escape here. Meteor M trying to go onto the defensive points. But both of the defensive ultimates were dropped there by PS4 Group. This is a habit they seem to have of layering those ultimates. Not the most efficient here. Kiwis trying to make their way in. Tainted Shock. Trying to bionic hook, doesn't find it, instead getting dove by Ruthok here. Trying to get onto him, Soldier's Fist though. With the help of Opaz, they take him down. Getting some healing with the Fate of Both Worlds, which will inspire him, but Opaz has that Soul Resurgence up. Bionic hook, beautifully done. Unbreakable guard is dropped, and the wall respawning is going to allow the Hulk to jump back and rejoin their team here, as Asai.net will take control of the point. Hulk onto the point, Unbreakable guard. Being a distraction, giving some time, making some space for their team to make their way in, and now they're in the backline with that Hulk smash, trying to pile on the pressure. Kiwis trying to deal with it, the jumps back and forth, dive in. Here comes the Goddess of Death from Deep Impact, trying to get onto that backline, trying to take out the Lunar Snow if they can, but Ceres is able to escape back up, finally picked off though. Kraken Impact, taking out one already, getting the Mantis, gets Rex Monica, reset two, gets a third, trying to chase down the Black Panther. And will get it, another reset, picks off one more, Rutok is down. And Kiwis left with the Hulk, holding the point, backs up to their team and forces them to back out, takes out Mantis, who just arrived back from being eliminated by Kiwis, and Kiwis playing hyper aggro here. Kiwis often a Thor player, but this time bringing out the Winter Soldier, backing up, pressured by the Hulk, will be forced off the point, but got their team a lot of percentage and is able to make their way back in from the flank with the help of the Lunar Snow, pushing in Fate of both worlds, coming in from Calzis, cloning onto Ceres here. Davis matching it so that they both teams get the healing as Rutok will fall, so does Ceres. Meteor M from Naptime into the backline, takes out the Mantis again. There's gonna be the straggling prison coming in from Rangaliv's mat as they are taking down the defending members of PS4 group. 94%, 95. PS4 group are still taking through though. Rex Monica has their own straggling prison here, but they don't get it off in time. Kaza's keeping the team healed up. Opans pushing forward just in case for a sleep if needed. And round one is taken as we head over to Throne Room on the Royal Palace. Asai.net taking the lead here. PS4 group putting on quite the performance here. But Asai.net outclassing them a bit here, and a lot of it does 100% come down to Kiwis on this Winter Soldier, has really been in control.
Groot, you know just what to say.
You can actually have a look at the stats here, and you can see Kiwis with 9 final hits, top on their team, and by a lot. Rangaliv's Matt is the second there. 11 eliminations, only getting taken down once. 6k damage, not the highest, but they're getting the job done. They're finishing these eliminations here. On the side of PS4 group, 4 eliminations for the Hulk, 4 eliminations for Deep Impact, 3 for Rutok, who has been playing very aggressive. Roller coming in, Kauzes, that is a bug. They do not have access to that God of Mischief. So they begin to make their way in. Hulk up to the high ground right off the bat, above their opponents. High ground is claimed by PS4 groups, and they're going to have the better position to try and rain down shots onto the members of Asai.net, but they're beginning to move their way in. Naptime getting focused. Fate of both worlds dropped immediately by Ceres here. Trying to push their way through. The crew walls actually shutting down Deep Impact a little bit here as well. Goddess of Death dropped early as Kraken Impact comes down. Can Kiwis find a reset here? The answer is no. Looks like it was entirely blocked. So instead, having to play a little bit further back as Deep Impact picks up the triple, looking to get more, trying to drive them back. Soldier's Fist from Kiwis, taking down Rex Monica. Deep Impact up on the high ground is trying to get Kiwis, gets the counter. And Deep Impact is so far being the most dominant force in this fight. Astral Flock to dodge away from that time with that Meteor M. Opans drops low, finished off by Rutok, and this time PS4 group, they haven't claimed the point yet, but Deep Impact is making a good argument for it, is finding the right angles, able to find the real Loki, takes them down, and this is Deep Impact getting the points for their team from behind to take out the Magneto. Naptime goes down. 31% was achieved by Asai.net during that first initial push, but PS4 group on the defense here are setting themselves up beautifully. Rex Monica on the front line. The wall's already down. Slow down their opponent. Hulk in and out. Being a distraction by the time. Calzis has that God of Mischief available. Rangaliv's Matt has a strangling prism, but needs to get through these Rex Monica walls in order to use it. Slept by the Mantis, pulled in by Bucky, back in out, wall up, but pushed through. A regeneration domain has to be dropped in order to protect Rex Monica. But in the meantime, the front line has been able to break through with the wall separating them out from their support. No strategist can get the healing in, but Asai, Ceres swapping to the rocket there. I forgot the name for a second. Able to revive them, but that means Calzis does not get to come back. Swapping over to that triple strategist. Rangaliv's map falls. Rex Monica dropping low, Kraken impact to try and turn it. If they can get Groot, they get a reset. They find Justin Davis instead onto the Loki clones. Those count towards the reset. If they get Groot here, then this may be Asai.net reclaiming the point. A Loki clone for extra points. They want to get onto Rex Monica and Deep Impact. Taking down Deep Impact onto the Hulk now. They don't get it in the invincible transformation frames. No more resets, but they might at least pop them back into Puny Banner and get the isolation bionic hook. And that is Kiwis once again playing up for their team and putting on quite the show.
You've captured more than half of the missionary.
The triple strategist able to push on through. 53% currently in versus 71 in favor of PS4 group, but Asai.net currently control the point. Data Shock takes down Groot Wall #1. Bionic Hook not landing. Regeneration domain to allow PS4 group to push on up. But Kiwis is trying to make the aggro happen by flanking from the side. Here comes the clone from Calzis. No, sorry, that was the clone. Onto the Lunar Snow for the counter. Down goes Ceres. Calzis going for the Mantis Soul Rejuvenation to keep the team upright that way. Both the Lokis keeping their team topped up. Rutok does expire. Not getting the healing. Rangaliv's Matt got a straggling prison, but their team is not here to follow up. Kiwis is returning at the BRB. Meaning that they will be back to try and rejoin to get back in for the team at 98, 99, 100. We're in overtime. Numbers in favor of PS4 group though, as I think we'll see Asai back up to try and regroup onto the point. Meteor M drops Rutok low, but down goes Nap Time. 72% on the overtime. PS4 group retake control, meaning Asai.net needs to back up, regroup, and make their way in, but they don't have a lot of time to do so, as PS4 group are trying to zone them out. Kraken Impact is the only ultimate they have finally going to be getting that Soul Resurgence back. Asai.net ready to push up for what might be their last push. If Asai.net can take this fight, they'll go 1-0 up in the game. Meteor M strangling prison. Groot Wall though to buy the time. They tack on through and get onto the overtime. Quick. Kiwis into the backline, Kraken Impact, looking for second reset, but unable to get it. Picked off the point. 2 for 2 currently. Rex Monica tagging through, trying to split the team once again with the walls and keep themselves topped up and healed. As Asai.net seem to be getting the momentum. Deep Impact is down, which means no Goddess of Death, no ultimates for either team. Deep Impact returning, but is far away from the point. Rex Monica trying to hold. Here comes Ceres with the Seer to keep the team topped up, pushing in for the counter Soul Resurgence onto the point. Numbers advantage once again for Asai.net for the moment, but they're still going to give it everything they time as Nap Time takes out Justin Davies, pushing back in. Deep Impact returns to the point. Will be getting that Goddess of Death, but someone needs to be touching the point so that these pickups will get value. They've got someone on the point. Rex Monica is holding to try and take out Star-Lord. They get him as Key was swapped to get to the point in time, but that is going to be it, bringing the score 1-1. PS4 group are back in the game. The delay tactics, enough to bring them back in. PS4 group. Rex Monica putting on an incredible defense there. A Deep Impact, able to find the targets with that Goddess of Death. Asai.net.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
The momentum is held. They now have to reset Get ready to push one more time. Whichever team wins this will take the lead in this best of 5.
Winter soldier, aren't you?
I think something may have gotten lost in translation.
Let's see if either of the teams have any adjustments. Looks like no.
4, 3,
Triple strategist
1.
for PS4 Group and Asai.net. An almost identical composition, in fact, with the only difference being Kiwis on that Winter Soldier. A Deep Impact is bringing out that Hela. Looking at the stats here, Hela able to get up to 15 final hits, the most in the game. Deep Impact is doing the work. Up on the high ground, immediately dropping people low. Finding targets every time. Astral Flock up to the high ground. Taking out those regeneration runes for the regeneration domain from the Loki. Cows is in there. Straggling Prison right off the bat. There's not a lot of AoE that can be done here. The group wall's actually disrupting them, but it is enough. Most of the pickups there were actually found by Loki. Able to grab a triple in that fight. And PS4 Group take control and keep their momentum going from the previous round. God of Mischief, ready. Fate of both worlds, ready. On the side of Asai.net, Soul Resurgence, Meteor M, and God of Mischief at the ready. Regeneration Domain. Loki backing out, doesn't want to get caught out of position here. Nap Time leading the front, pushing in. Meteor M is a rough place to do it due to the terrain, but finds it directly on top of the Loki. Justin Davis able to heal back up, but they're down a member, pushing in. Cows is dropping low as well. They're holding on to the majority of their supportive ultimates. We're just going to see Asai.net try and push on through with Adam. Straggling Prison goes out, finds no one. Justin Davis onto the backline, trying to take out Kiwis. Kiwis crack an impact onto the Groot, finishes them off. Reset 1 onto Magneto. The shield coming out though. Here comes the clone. Meteor M onto Opats, blocked by the terrain. Exactly what I was talking about. It's a rough angle on this map as Ceres is keeping the team top. Raga Lives Matt gets the double, and PS4 Group are still in control, but are being forced off the point. It's a full team wipe. But 73% was acquired by PS4 Group in that time. But Asai.net will finally take control. Opats with the Soul Rejuvenation. Nap Time. 13% away from that Meteor M. Raga Lives Matt, 20%. From the Strangling Prison. Speaking of which, Rex Monica trying to push up. Shielding from Magneto will get healed up by the rest of the team. Starting to see a bit of a group of Strangling Prison. Finds the angle, and immediately the regeneration domain buys some time. Meteor M takes out Cowsers, meaning they do have a bit of an angle here. Kiwis in the backline. Soul Rejuvenation from Opats to buy the team some time. Nap Time with that Meteor M. Needs to get out from under the terrain. Drops it. Takes out the Loki. Justin Davis with the fate of both worlds. Keeping the team top so the PS4 Group can keep their presence on the board. And in fact, they do have the numbers advantage. Taking out Ceres and Kiwis. Pushing on. Trying to get the front line. Forcing them back up to the high ground. Down goes Rutok. Off to the side though to Nap Time. As Nap Time is deep in the backline. Taking out Justin Davies as well. Nap Time is taking the opportunity, but here comes the Goddess of Death from Deep Impact onto Nap Time, and Cal's regeneration domain will buy Cal's a little bit of time. Going to swap bodies to get into cover here, but this means Nap Time was uncontested during that time. They do get Cal's right at the end. Deep Impact retreating up to the high ground, which means the point is still being held by Asai.
That's what I needed.
He was cracking Impact at the ready. As we're approaching overtime, the perfect ability to have, one that resets. If your team gets even the tiniest bit of momentum, it is the ultimate that will win you the game. This low ceiling, this upper platform can be very difficult to get through. Loki, regeneration domain, to allow the members of the PS4 Group to tag through. Kiwis Soldier's Fist to get into the backline, getting chased down here. Here comes the Kraken Impact onto the backline, onto Loki, and there's the fate of both worlds. That will shut down the reason. Found one though, into the high ground, looking for the Lunar Snow, who is playing hyper evasive, but finds the headshot. Kraken impact finds deep impact. More looking for the clone Luna. Trying to take out the Loki onto the backline for the reset. Struggling Prism shuts them down. Rex Monica trying to bring it back. Meteor M takes out Ceres, and PS4 Group are in control of Durangolif's mat. And even the Kraken impact resets weren't enough to force PS4 Group back. 99 to 80%. Asai have one more push left. But they do have ultimates. Straggling Prison at the ready. They have the clone, which basically means they're going to get a Fate of both worlds. Trying to keep Kiwis up. Nap time slipped, but pushing forward. They're going to be able to reach the point. 96, 97. They're on the point. Nap time, holding it onto Justin Davis, trying to pick off that support, but no, there's the healing, Straggling Present finds no one, they're protected from the shield, Meteor M, not enough to break through that supportive backline of the strategist, Justin Davis on that Lunar Stone, Kiwis and Cowsers are down, and PS4 Group are barely even touched. Nap time is trying to make the miracle happen. Takes out Dean Impact, but they're the only tag left on the point. They're the only one left on the point. Nap time is getting focused down. Cowsers is trying to distract him by some time as well on that Loki, but down they go. Cowsers is nowhere near. Ceres is down. Kiwis trying to make it, but slipped off the point. Soldier's Fist actually is woken up, makes it to the point, tries to hold, but is picked off, and PS4 Group take game number 1. PS4 Group taking the first game. And it was not easy. These two teams pretty evenly matched from what we're seeing to start us off. Remember that in the upper bracket quarterfinals, PS4 Group knocks down Asai.net in a 3-0. And already the nerves are set as PS4 Group take game number 1. And this is going to start to feel familiar to Asai.net. Could this start to bring in the nerves? Could this really rattle them? We'll have to see as this series goes on. Remember, this is a best of 5. 16 final hits for Kiwis, being beaten out, though, by Deep Impact. And tied by the Magneto of PS4 Group. Let's see if we can do a little bit of a classic Google Translate situation to get some names. We want camera. We want detect language. And I want it changed to English, not Spanish, please. Okay, let's see what we can get here. Let's see. Okay, it seems to think that the Magneto's name is Rotring and the Loki's name is Sammy. This is the best I have to go through, go with for now, because unfortunately, again, my education system only taught me English, and even that it did not do a great job. Thank you, United Kingdom education system. Really appreciate that. So we will be calling the Magneto Rotring and the Loki Sammy from now on. So, let's talk about the rest of these statistics here. Most damage done is pretty close. 25k and 666s for Deep Impact. 25k 357 for Kiwis. 25k 900, barely snitching it, is Rangaliv's mat, but the top damage goes over to Nap Time. 26k 700. So close between all these players. Everyone just getting stuck in and brawling. Even the supports. Look on the side of PS4 Group. 16k damage for Rutok. 10k for Justin Davis. 7k for Sammy. Sorry, 8k for Sammy. 7k for Cowsers on the low-key. 5k for Ceres, who got the lowest healing output here. Lowest damage output, sorry. Highest healing output. God, I cannot read today. 28k healing from Ceres tops the healing output. 27k. Just behind is Justin Davies. And the person who got eliminated the least, again, the person who had the most presence, is going to be Rotring. Well-deserved MVP there. Only getting taken out 4 times. Second highest eliminations in the game. Second highest final hits in the game. 29 eliminations, which, yeah, is actually the second highest eliminations in the game. Very well played. I hope that the Google Translate has not let your name down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying. I'll do the spiel after map number 2 as we get set up for map number 2 in this best of 5. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this short break.
Journey was a blessing, yeah. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. Taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the new song.
And we are back. It is round number 2, and we are heading to Symbiotic Surface. PS4 group hold the lead with a 1-0 at the moment. They will be starting on defense. Asai.net will be going in for attack. And as we see what our first ban is, no ban at all for Asai.net. That could be strategic. It could be a little bit of an AFK here. We will have to see. And Dr. Strange is banned out. I do want to remind you all that only 7.9% of you are subscribed to this channel. So if you are enjoying these casts, then please consider continuing to support helping me in the algorithm by hitting subscribe and hitting that little bell icon so you see when these videos go live. Thank you very much for your time during this drafting phase. Hawkeye was protected here by the side of PS4 group, giving them a little bit of extra range. Why am I not seeing Luna's name? That is a question I have. Not really relevant to the draft, as Magneto is protected for nap time. Gotta be careful though, because Rotring showed they have an insane ability to play Magneto. Thor taken away, as is Iron Man, because we did have the Hulks available. Rex Monica, looks like they're going to be the one playing the Magneto this time. And Captain America being hovered by PS4 group, giving them a little bit of backline potential. Rotring going to be locking that in. Rex Monica on the Magneto. Well, let's see how this goes as we are heading in. On defense, PS4 group running the 2-2-2. Mantis and Luna Snow, classic setup. Magneto for Rex Monica. But again, Rotring, MVP from last game. There we go, swapping it out. I would have been excited. But no, we're going to be seeing the Groot instead of the Captain America here. Asai.net, they are going to be running by the looks of it, but again, this could change before the rollout happens, before anyone actually steps outside of base. Currently, they are hovering a triple duelist strategy with nap time on that Magneto, Rangaliv's Matt on Hawkeye, and Kiwiz playing on the Hela. Again, Kiwiz usually a Thor player, so it's really interesting to see the PS4 group are continuing to try and just zone out draft-wise the members of Asai.net.
Patience and common sense.
Nice drafting by PS4 Group so far. Down goes Rangaliv's Matt, losing the 1v1 versus Deep Impact. Rutok, defensive the board.
I am wounded. Who will help?
A little bit of stutter that we expect at the start. Ooh, debated by the map here. Very slow start here. Nothing too aggressive, just poking away, zoning them out. Rex, Monica, and Rotring continuing to just keep them at a distance, although Deep Impact is finding these finishing blows. Dropped low, though, and taken out by Naptime. And finally, we're going to start to see Asai.net make their way to the point, but they're already 2 members down. Make it 3 as Calzes falls. And numbers heavily in favor of PS4 Group, able to keep that position heavily defended. Rutok continuing to zone very effectively. Oceanic Dominion placed up high in order to make sure that no one got caught out there. Sorry, I just had a sort of brain reset. Rex Monica continuing to zone out at the front. Wrap around coming in from Asai.net, going out the right-hand staircase. Trying to make their way in, give themselves an angle to attack from behind. But Oceanic Dominion continues to pile on the pressure. They'd love to take out Deep Impact here, but they're getting dropped a little bit. Forced to wrap around. The terrain bridge drops, leaving Naptime a little bit isolated here. Kind of trapped away from their team. Calzes diving into the backline. Deep Impact taken out. This is Asai's attempt to move on in to try and take control with a numbers advantage. Kiwis dropped low, fade of both worlds to keep Rex Monica up. Sammy with the protection. Meteor M's being dropped. Naptime sends theirs in. Justin Davis takes out Calzes. Calzes removes Rutok. Calzes and Kiwis both down, and PS4 Group is starting to get back those numbers. Here comes Ceres, though, with the fate of both worlds to try and let Naptime and Rangaliv's Matt get that healing so that they can try and turn this around with a damage output. But Rangaliv's Matt is being chased all the way back to spawn, but it's going to take the long cut as they are picked off on the retreat once again by Deep Impact. Held at 0% so far. PS4 Group looking to extend their lead right now. Are looking fantastic at this early stage.
Bad guys won't like this.
Deep Impact sending in the shots from down range. Rotring onto the point. Calzes taking out Deep Impact once again, removing the Hawkeye. But where's the follow-up? They're starting to move in, but it's a slow move. Big pickup from the straggling prison there. Able to get the double. Calzes was in the backline, taken out. Beautiful play here by Justin Davies. Usually gonna be the Luna Snow player, but this time swapping over onto the Mantis and showing they've got the power for it. Dropping the sleeps, dropping the damage output, is doing such a good job here. Rangaliv's back from downrange, taking quite a bit of damage from Deep Impact. Really wants to try and trade them out, not finding the final hits. It's a little bit of damage though. Root walls shutting them down. Not getting the angle they would really like. Naptime is trying to make something happen. Creating space. Has that Meteor M, which will be dropped. Wants to hit the backline. Sends it. Dodged with a fate of both worlds immediately coming in from Sammy to try and keep the team upright. Getting onto Rutok, who is dropped low thanks to the dive. Kiwis has already been taken out here as Calzes on that Black Panther is trying to make their way onto the point. 2 seconds left, so they need to touch for the overtime. But no, they don't even get onto the point. Held at 0%. PS4 Group have set themselves up beautifully here as the sides swap.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Do we see any mix-ups? PS4 Group, they're thinking about it. Rotring is like, please, let me play it. Let me play it. Unleash me. Let me do it. Give me Steve. Deep Impact onto the Magic. Rutok currently hovering. The Black Panther. If there is a time to try something hyper-aggressive and risky, it is now. You've got such a huge buffer. You might as well give it a go, at least for the first push out if you really want to, but it looks like Rotring may be denied the captain.
Before you attack.
It is a pre-buff captain. We are on season 0. As a reminder, these games are just over a month old now. Oh, Hulk now. Roderick, a little bit indecisive. Rex Monica onto the Magneto again. Enquiries has moved on to the Winter Soldier to try and get Asai back into this game. But this is a hyper-aggressive dive composition for the side of PS4 group. To try and close it out. Rex Monica and Roderick swapping once again in the last second. Rex Monica on the flank right away with this Venom. This is the only ranged characters here are Magneto, Luna Snow, and Mantis. Everyone else is melee. Beginning to make their way around. Who is going to be the person to pull the trigger? The full flank, meaning the Rex Monica, with the distraction, now has full freedom to enter the backline. Frenzied arrival onto Opads to try and pressure in. Gets slipped, shield up quite quickly. But already Calzas and Opads are down as the pressure coming in from PS4 group is deleting Asai.net. The distraction executed beautifully. The follow-up timing is great. They lose Rutok, take a third, and that is it.
1, 2, 0.
Magnificent! Perfect execution!
Epic victory. Big win.
Justin Davies taking MVP there. As PS4 group continue to perform incredible feats there. Such a low elimination game, and that's because it was very short. Top eliminations going over 2 Deep Impact. Playing Hela and then that Magic. 6 final hits, 8 eliminations. Insane work there. Calzas actually getting the most final hits and eliminations for the side of Asai.net. Starting to struggle a bit here, but they have a chance. It's a best of 5. Reverse sweep is still possible as we look at the healing numbers, and we can see almost 10k, just short of 10k by Sammy. 6.2k for Justin Davies. Eliminated 0 times. Only people who went down are Rutok and Deep Impact. Almost 3k damage. 3 final hits themselves. Incredible work. Top damage blocked 14k. 4k increase on nap time. It's going to be, of course, that Magneto jumping in here. The Groot did not get as much time to absorb damage like we saw in game number 1. This was a very different beast than the Magnetos. Take top damage absorption for both teams here. Rotring. 4k less, but on the board, 4k, almost 5k damage. Rex Monica with with just over 6.5k damage here. Really doing good work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a quick spiel before we get ready to head into game number 3. If you're enjoying today, I've already talked to you about subscribing, but did you know you can also help by liking the video and leaving a comment? Leaving a comment helps me boost in the algorithm, especially if you talk about things that the algorithm likes. It has been tested. It just straight up works. If you talk about things the algorithm likes, talk about things that are popular, then it helps me in the algorithm. So if you ever want to help and you don't want to spend a single penny, then subscribing if you're not already, liking the video, and leaving a comment to talk about the game and, you know, maybe related to something in real life that is going to manipulate the system. Because we're all working against an algorithm here. Google's got enough money. Give me some, please. But if you want to give a little bit extra than the pittance that Google spends on us lowly creators, then you can also help by becoming a member and get videos early whenever possible, which is most of the time. I've been able to keep up pretty well so far. Members get their videos a day early, and also there will be some members-only content in the future. It's probably going to be behind the scenes if I'm going to, like, events or stuff like that. So that is the plan. But you can get all that. You can get a little bit of that by becoming a member. But the minimum you get is you get shout-outs like Jack's Prime, and you also get videos 24 hours early whenever possible. Sometimes you get multiple videos. This video is going to be available a day early, 2 days early for our lovely YouTube members, so enjoy that. And of course, if you don't want to spend money monthly, I know it's a big commitment and you've got enough subscriptions already and you're worried about you'll forget. It's so irritating. Then perhaps you can just hit that thanks button if you have a little bit of money to spare. I am not sponsored. I do not make money from Marvel yet. Fingers crossed on both of those in the future. But you can send a thanks, a super thanks, where you get your message highlighted, and also you'll be supporting me directly. So thank you all, everyone, very much. Thank you, everyone who is supporting so far. Remember that after Asia Console is done, we're going into America Console. And by the time we're done with that, I'll be making a video saying which teams to watch across all regions and devices as we head into Season 1. And then we'll be doing exactly the same thing. Trying to get you a video a day through Season 1, starting with those open qualifiers. I'll be doing my best to just bring you everything I can. That is the plan. The only thing that will put a stop to me bringing you a game a day is, 1, if I am sick, and 2, if I get, picked up to be on the main broadcast for Marvel Rivals, which I would accept if they offered, assuming their rates aren't insulting. But that is the play. That might slow it down, but I'd still try and get you videos every day I can if that was the case. Just because I'm on the main broadcast does not mean I would stop doing stuff on this channel. So, let's get set up for game number 3. Can PS4 Group close this down, or will Asai.net begin the reverse sweep? Only one way to find out, and that's by getting set up for map number 3.
I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing. All here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You are not as tough as I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you never guessed. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got heart. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh.
And here we are, in what could be the final map, building in T'Challa. Asai.net on the right, PS4 Group on the left. We are heading into domination for the first time this series. No, wait, that was the first game. I'm being foolish and forgetful. Immediately, Hawkeye taken out. Little too scary there. Doctor Strange has been removed, but that finally means that Thor can enter play. Protected by Rotring. Very interesting. It's been Kiwis, again, who we've been seeing kind of leaning on that pretty heavily. Magneto protected once again. Rex Monica or Rotring having options there. But it's going to be protected for Naptime, who's done such insane work on this Magneto in the past. Hela will get removed this time. So Hawkeye and Hela both taken away. 2 characters who got nerfed at the end of Season 0. Meaning as we head into Season 1, they will be a little bit more nerfed. Down goes the Penny Parker. Something that we see a little bit of play of in the console games, almost none of on PC. Going for a very similar draft to what we saw at the end of last game. PS4 Group going heavy on the dive melee composition. Instead of Venom, we see the Thor. Oh, are they going to let Rex Monica do it? Rotring's been the one who's hovering that Captain America the entire time. This is a troll, surely. This is surely a troll. Yeah, there we go. We're swapping back. Unless... Okay, I was about to say... I mean, do it. I want to see it. The pre-buff Storm would be awesome. Looks like they are thinking, at least, about running the Cap and the Thor, but I doubt it. I think they'll probably swap before this starts. And look at this. Asai.net, despite Kiwis being like a Thor master in terms of ability and play. They are sticking on the damage. They are heavy leaning onto this Winter Soldier.
I think something may have gotten lost in translation.
Ranga has the ability to potentially trap some people in the base if they want to here, but they can decide against it. They can give their team a head start. If you do that, actually, you can try and just trap multiple people and give your team a bit of a head start to the point. Asai.net, this is their chance to bring it back as they are on match point right now. Could be eliminated from the entire tournament in one fell swoop if they are unable to make the comeback here. Nice shot coming in right away. First to fall is Sammy. PS4 group getting focused down right off the bat here. And this is going to allow Asai.net to get a quite heavy bit of aggression coming in to try and take down the Thor. Soldier's Fist not finding it, as in the meantime, though, Rutok is in the backline, causing problems. Position, though, currently held, but not being taken by Asai.net. Finally, it will activate. You can see Rex Monica steps on, picked off it. Thor now with the dive. It takes out the Winter Soldier here, but with nowhere to go, they're just going to drop off the map here. And PS4 group are zoned off the point. Asai.net will take control. Quick healing. Topping up Justin Davies, who dropped quite low there. And Ragaliv's back. It's now going to be the person to watch as they have to hold the choke point here. Trust their team to protect them as from above, in comes Deep Impact into the backline. Stutter will stabilize, the game goes on. Down goes Deep Impact, but Rudog has taken out Kiwis again. Removing that damage output from Asai.net, but they're going to try and hold this with sustain anyway. Kiwis returning. Rudok drop low as they dive the backline once again, not able to find anyone to be picked off this time. Position still being held, straggling prison at the ready for Ragaliv's Maz. They're focused down to 140 health to tank on through the big protection. Here comes the fate of both worlds. Meteor M is absorbed, but they're still trying to hold it. PS4 group trying to force their way in with that fate of both worlds, trying to keep the team topped up. Here comes Ceres with the fate of both worlds to allow Asai to hold on to the point and keep it going. Counter Meteor M for a second fate of both worlds, dodging Rex Monica here as Ragaliv's Mat is holding the point, taking out Sammy here. Sorry, taking out the Mantis. Ragaliv's Mat dropping low. Bastis said doesn't modify by Deep Impact, who swapped onto the Psylocke, a hero who we've kind of seen neglected in this whole series so far. Down goes Rex Monica. And Asai.net, they're holding the point. This is super one-sided. This is like the previous games, but flipped around as Asai.net have control. 89-90. Gru zoning everyone in the hallway, trying to prevent them getting onto the point against Steve. Rutok is going to be the one to try and dive past and take it. 98, 99, touches barely. Rutok now has to hold for a little bit of time. Actually almost capped it there. Playing mobile, just trying to buy time. Hyper evasive strategies here. Map heal is there, will grab it, which means they can keep this overtime ticking for their team. They've got Thor here as well. Rotring trying to hold onto the line. Kiwis and Ragaliv's Mat have both fallen for Asai.net, but nap time forced into the hallway, and PS4 group will take control of the point. Nap time zoning as best they can. Magnetic barrier. Got to be careful in this position. That magnetic cannon can knock you backwards and off the objective if you're not careful. But this can also knock you right back to spawn. Meteor M takes out Justin Davies. Rex Monica falls. And that is a huge amount of the sustain of PS4 group. Ruto goes down. So does Sammy. And that's just leaving Thorn, who is in the backline, taken down. And no one is left to touch it. No one is on the point. And Asai.net take round number 1 of game number 3. Asai.net points on the board. If they win a second round, they will actually be getting a map on the board, something they failed to do in the previous series these two teams played. The maps they played on, Shin Shibuya, which was a 3-1 in favor of PS4 group. Hell's Heaven was a 2-0 in favor of PS4 group. And Spider Island was a 1 in favor of PS4 group.
Get ready.
Asai.net, they have already scored the exact same amount of points that they scored in the entire last series. You can only go up from here. But they're going to give it their best.
We are done here. I will gladly take you to them, my dear. Krakoa would be delighted.
PS4 group looking to try and just get back into this and try and shut down the comeback of Asai.net. No miracle comebacks.
Capture the mission area. Got it?
No Cinderella stories. They're just going to try and close this out. But Asai.net, they want all those things. They want their opportunity to get to that grand final. They know if they get eliminated here, it is done for them for the season. Rangalin's back. Taking a little bit of damage. Currently being the front line. Deep Impact sticking with that Psylocke here. Into the back line already. Does the butterfly. Takes out Kiwis. Regeneration Domain shuts down, getting anyone else slept. Focus down. Shield from Magneto and gets out. Nice pickup, and PS4 group absolutely destroying Asai.net this time. Driving them all the way back.
I am barely wounded.
Nicely done. Trying to push their way in. Taking out Rangalin's man, the Spore Bomb eaten, and they barely mind. Really trying to just put the pressure on. Really trying to make something happen. Rotring with the lightning mode, flinging in those shots here. The Awakening Rune. Unleashing Thor's godly power. The Thor Force. That's hard to pronounce. Allowing a big burst of damage. Storm Surge. Thinking about it, into the back line. There's that Awakening Rune. Trying to burst through. Meteor M coming in for nap time. God of Thunder into the back line. Takes out Ceres. Justin Davies goes down though. PS4 group 3 eliminated versus the now 3 of Asai.net to equal it up. Ceres returning from spawn. Ranga lives Matt. Helping Asai.net take back the point. PS4 group up to 67%. But Asai.net, they are holding. Keeping it together for the moment. Opats off to the side. Groove Wall to try and split the team in two. Keep them off that high ground. Spore Bomb, good damage. Justin Davies taken out by Naptime. Naptime is playing quite aggressively here, wants to maximize the damage and task, and the Butterfly's going to be coming in for the backline, and the Horde of Proteus to trap them in between the two. Rudok takes out Calzes, sleep onto Deep Impact, Psychic Stealth, but they're getting chased down by Opads, who will spot them, gets the pickup. Sammy trying to keep their team alive with the Soul Rejuvenation, but they get taken out here. Ceres, Fate of Both Worlds expires 48% to 67% in favor of PS4 Group, and Asai.net are still holding on to the point. PS4 Group looking to change that as they're driving back Asai. Rangalin's Matt though, still on the point, still attacking. Kiwis! Kraken impact into the backline, misses the Soldier's Fist. No reset this time. Tainted Shock, the healing output from Justin Davies has shut them down. Deep Impact is now on the Iron Man, leaving Kiwis to try and focus onto them. Lovely bionic hook to try and finish the job. Meteor M, Soldier's Fist to chase her back. Down goes Justin Davies. Deep Impact picked up by Naptime as Rotring is trying to turn this round. But it's picked off 84%. Asai.net have taken the lead. It could be the comeback as they look to close out game number 3 and put themselves a point on the board. What they weren't able to do in the first time these two teams met. Walls, just only walls. No one gets in. No way in. No way out. No way in. Asai.net take game number 3. And Asai.net have done what they weren't able to do in the first series. They are able to take a map off of PS4 Group. And now they know while attempting to stay friendly to what the higher ups at NetEase prefer the cast to say. If it bleeds, we can eliminate it. And they know that the PS4 group are vulnerable. They can be beaten. Rotring, 12 final hits on that Thorn. 13k damage. Tied in the 13ks, but losing out to Naptime, who gets 13k 600. Getting 9 final hits of their own. Ragalismat also on 13k damage, second highest damage in the game with 10 final hits themselves. Naptime only got eliminated once that entire game. Just an insane level of tankiness. Damage blocked. Ragalismat and by a lot, 30k, 10k more than anyone else in the game for block damage, and only got eliminated 3 times, which is one of the lowest in the game. Kiwi's had a bit of a rough one, getting focused down quite a few times there. 7 times eliminated, but still did 6k damage, still got 5 final hits, still did work for their team. And top healing is going to be Ceres once again on that Lunar Snow. 17k healing. Beating out Justin Davies by 2k and getting eliminated 2 less times. Very strong performance, and that means that Asai.net are not out yet. They are still here, and they are still fighting. Nicely done, Asai.net, meaning that we are heading to a map number 4. It is still match point for PS4 group, but could this be the start of the legendary reverse sweep? The only way to find out is to, if you're not using YouTube Premium, and hopefully you have ad block off when you're watching my content so that I can, afford to eat. The only way to find out is to watch the ad that pops up, or if you have YouTube Premium, I don't know, grab a snack, and then come back for map number 4.
Tough.
Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I'm bad enough to see. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were have-nots, who were not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me. I think I'm bad enough to see. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were have-nots, who were not as tough as me. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free.
Welcome to Shin Shibuya! What could be the final map between these two teams as Asai.net sit on 1 point, but PS4 group sit on 2. And Asai.net, they gotta have some good feelings about that last map where they finally were able to take a point. The first time they've been able to take a map of a PS4 group, but all of that goodwill is gonna be affected here due to the fact that this, out of all the maps they've played so far, is the first one where PS4 group and Asai.net have met before. The first game of their upper bracket quarterfinals game was on Shin Shibuya, where Asai.net took a single point and PS4 group took 3 points. This is got to be nerve-wracking. And PS4 group, they are up first. If they get 3 points again, that is going to rattle Asai.net. Strange, Iron Man, Thor taken out this time, well deserved,
The right hero
and the Hawkeye
the difference.
are removed. But Hela and Magneto are once again protected. Rotring, they want it. Not going to be allowed though. They've been begging for it, might be memeing. Maybe they just really want to play that Captain America. Very little differentiation for Asai.net. It worked last game. They're just going to run it back and try again. PS4 group. They'll be the ones on the attack. But they're sticking pretty similar as well. Rutok back onto that Black Panther. T'Challa making his appearance. So, triple strategist, solo duelist, Asai.net looking to set themselves up for the tiebreaker game number 5. But first, they have to put a stop to PS4 group.
The battle starts in 5, 4,
PS4 group,
3, 2,
they want to pick up the win, close this out, and move their way on to that lower bracket semi-final. Already, Magnetic Cannon forcing back Rex Monica. Nap time on the hyper-aggression here. It's PS4 group making their way in. Rotring on the flank. Rex Monica in the front. Taking a lot of damage, though. Will use the Ionic Barrier. Big damage, but the Demonic Hook still landed, accidentally pulling Rotring further forward than they might have liked. Rutok into the backline to try and pick off some of the damage dealers. Drops low, though. And the Regeneration Domain shuts down this push. But PS4 group, they're already on the point. The main attack angle has been broken here. Meaning now it comes down to a bare-knuckle brawl as Rotring forces them back into the doorway to create a choke point. The walls to try and zone out Rangaliv's Matt from their team. Drops low, though. Needs some of that healing for themselves. Trying to hold on, trying to make their way back in. Deep Impact in the back line is taking out Opats. Is now trying to just pick off any of those members. Here comes the double Fate of both worlds. Soul Rejuvenation coming out from the Mantis. Little bit staggered. Meteor air for nap time. Can they get anyone? Big damage, but where's the finishing blows? Rotring trying to tank it, tanking through the straggling prison with the shield. Here comes Deep Impact to try and burn through these defenses with the Goddess of Death. The front line's grouped up. Rangalis man going down. Cows is going down. Ranga finally falls. And PS4 group are looking to take point number 1. Group Walls trolling their own team a little bit here. But PS4 group have taken the first point. No one's going to be able to get there in time. And Asai.net forced to pull back a little bit and defend this main entranceway. That is Group Walls protect you from that side flank, but it also protects the enemy team from your backline. You've got to be careful with how you use these Group Walls. That's a lot of free push that we just saw PS4 group pick up here. But 2 members taken out. They're still able to get the angle. Group Wall this time perfect. Splits the team in 2. Allows them to focus on the Rex Monica. Up to the high ground now. Try to focus. Zone them out. This time a little bit of protection. Spore Bomb. Good damage output. Fragilous Matt will back away. Kiwis with the Kraken impact could be used here to try and pick him up as Rutok enters the backline. Once again, diving through. No reset, picked off this time. Kiwis, Kraken impact, takes out Deep Impact, and Rutok already down. Double Soldier's Fist! Going to take down Sammy and Justin Davis, looking for the Groot and for Rex Monica. One more, and Rex Monica trying to retreat to the spawn room. Rutok goes down as the final one. Rex Monica was able to take out Kiwis. But PS4 group's push is slow to a crawl. But they're respawning, making their way back in, taking advantage of the fact that Kiwis has to walk back as well. Their return time is actually a little bit shorter because they're so little into their push right now. Trying to pile on the pressure. Straggling Prison coming out. Counter Straggling Prison finds no one. Neither one's able to get a good set of value here. Soul Resurgence from Sammy, keeping the team topped up as they try to make their way forward. PS4 group onto the point. Meteor M for Rex Monica into the backline. Nap time though counted, taking out Sammy. Opans keeping the team top with the sole resurgence of their own Justin Davis and the fate of both worlds. Ceres has held on to their own, but it's not going to be utilized to save Opans here. Down goes Cowsers as well, and outside.net, their defense is evaporating here. Ragger and Naptime both going down, and PS4 Group keep on pushing. Deep Impact, the scariest character once we're at this level of range. You can see dropping people so low, close with that eliminating health bar range. Trying to find someone, but no. Will get zoned away a little bit, gets a little bit of healing. Forced to back away. Soul Siphon coming in. Astral Flock up to the high ground because now if they want to, they could Goddess of Death to cut the team in two. They actually just take down Ceres with standard autos. Straggling Prison coming in from Ragaliv's Mats. They try to push to the backline, but again, they have the damage to follow up. Freeze coming out. Deep Impact taken out by Opans. Raga trying to defend. Counter Straggling Prison. The walls protects the team, though. It's going to allow Calzes to get out of danger here. Kiwis returning in for the fight. Rex Monica, Meteor into the backline, tries to take out Ceres, but Ceres tanking through here. Calzes fate of both worlds with that God of Mischief. Going for the pre-nerf quick flicks on that ultimate, which allowed you to dance back and forth between damage buff and healing. Nap time. Up to the high ground, they're actually just going to chase down PS4 Group, who are on the flank here. PS4 Group are going for a big wraparound, but it's going to allow Asai.net to push into the central building. They regrouped up instead of pushing in to take control of that central area, and as such, they get zoned a little bit here, but they're finally able to make their way back onto the point as Asai.net continues to defend. They've lost control of that central point as they retreat down to the low ground. Meteor M for nap time, directly onto Deep Impact. A beautiful job. Rutok dropping low, gets healed up with the fate of both worlds, trying to get into that backline once again with this incredible spin kick from the Black Panther. Takes out Calzes. Ragaliv's Mat picked off directly after ulting as here comes the fate of both worlds from Ceres. The card is being held for the moment. Ceres is trying to tag him, but in the meantime, Rotring is in the backline on the Hulk. Deep Impact returns from spawn, has the Goddess of Death, and will zone out the defenders here, picking off anyone who's trying to hold. The front line is still here, but the back line is miles away now. Deep Impact trying to make it work. Here comes Meteor M for Rex Monica. Kraken Impact for Kiwis. Reset number 1, 2, 3. Can they get 4? Yes, they can. PS4 Group are being pushed back, and Asai.net may actually be able to hold this. One lure down. Rutok's the final remaining member. Forced off the point overtime. Gets the headshot, and Rutok falls. And Asai.net do not allow history to repeat, holding at 1 point.
Time to switch things up.
PS4 Group now, in order to prevent the map going over to Asai.net and a 5th map on the horizon, they now have to defend. Asai.net, 2 points. That's what they need. In order to stay in the game, they need to push further. Not just in the game, in the tournament. Asai.net have to push further. There are no more options, no alternatives. The odds of a tiebreaker are essentially impossible. As Asai.net hype themselves up and set up
30 seconds before you
for what's
attack.
going to have to
Get
be the
ready.
push of their lives. PS4 Group sticking with that Hulk returning once again. Rotring up to the high ground. Going with the classic Hulk wee positioning.
Unnatural.
Everything else is the same though.
Battle starts in 5,
Triple strategist. Deep Impact.
1.
Gonna have to do some insane damage output to take this. Both these teams running triple strategist. Double Vanguard. Let's see what they can do as they pile on the pressure. PS4 Group on the defense. Asai.net, Kiwis dropped low. On the flank. Looking for a bionic hook to try and pull someone in. Does not find a target. Takes a lot of damage, but the healers are here. Will be topped up. Hulk trying to flank him. Trying to pile on the pressure. It's a full wraparound here. Asai.net, their positioning is good, but they need to turn it into something. Bionic hook not going to be utilized here as Kiwis is taken out on the flank. Deep Impact picking up the first elimination in this fight. Looking for nap time now. Rangaliv's Matt will do. Drops him here. Deep Impact forced down to the ground with the destruction of the terrain they were standing on. Trying to focus onto nap time, taking them out, staggering the push, and it is going to be huge. Calzis just drops. They know they can't hide here. It's much better if they just go down, regroup with the team as they can push together. Here's 4 group. Hold the first push. Rangaliv's Matt setting up the initial position. Spore Bomb, little bit of damage. Making their way forward. Nap time. Going through the tight wraparound position. Trying to get onto Deep Impact, but taking so much damage. The Hulk dive. Here comes the regeneration domain. It's going to allow them to try and push in further, though. They have the fate of both worlds. Rotok has the soul rejuvenation. And Hulk smash in the backline. The team is very split. The front line's on the point as Hulk pushes in. Rotring has split the team in 2 and T-poses for style. We're going to see Opads and Rangaliv's Matt going down as PS4 group drive back Asai.net once again, splitting the team in 2. Asai.net. 1 minute, 51 seconds to get this first point. They push in once again. Nap time already stepping forward, dropped low. There's the magnetic barrier. Meteor M for nap time into the backline, does damage but not at the finish. Here comes the fate of both worlds from Calzis with the God of Mischief. Rutok with a soul rejuvenation. Here comes Loki, Sammy with their own soul rejuvenation here. Deep Impact into the air with the Goddess of Death and trying to get down. Kraken Impact for the mirror. Reset number 1, but not finding number 2. Stunned down by Hulk with a radioactive lockdown. It will come down to this fight. Nap time takes out Sammy, who swaps to the Magneto here. Down goes Kiwis to Deep Impact, who is putting on a clinic with this Hela. They'll finally fall, though, as nap time is showing us just how to Magneto. Driving them back, but is once again finding themselves alone. Nap time taken down by Sammy here. The Magneto clone gave them a little bit of time, but it wasn't enough. Until we started seeing Deep Impact picking up those eliminations. PS4 group are looking to end it here. 30 seconds remaining. Asai are on their last push. It is now or never. If you don't make it here, they will be eliminated. And PS4 group are looking to make that happen. They step up. 15 seconds remain as PS4 group look to shut them down. Soul rejuvenation is available, but Ceres and Kiwis are taken out in the back from the Hulk. Meteor M for nap time will get Loki. Sammy is down, but Hulk smash is completely isolating the backline members. Deep Impact has brought back Loki with the team up ability. Calzis and nap time goes down. Rangaliv's Matt with the Hulk smash completely shatters the dreams of Asai.net. And PS4 group hold on 0% and will be moving on to the lower bracket semi-final. Deep Impact, a well-deserved MVP there. 15 final hits, 22 eliminations, 22k damage. Basically putting 1,000 points worth of damage into each player that their team eliminated. Only getting eliminated 6 times. Second highest on the team, but it's still less than Calzis and Kiwis, and the same as Rangaliv's Matt and Opads. Highest eliminations in the game. Kiwis almost keeping up. Tried to Spider-Man at the end to rotate in time, but wasn't able to do so. Top damage. Once again, deep impact. Beating out Rangaliv's map by just 3k, but it's enough. And beating out Nap Time. We've already talked about just how insane they are on this Magneto. Beating them out by 1k. Top damage blocked. Rangaliv's map, 43k, tanking with everything they had. Rot Ring, though, 31k, 12k less, but enough because they also got 6 final hits and 18k damage as well, and got eliminated 3 less times, being on the board more often. And that's when the difference seems to come in there. And the healing, the strategist, is about as close as it could be. For the last time, Ceres able to beat out Justin Davies on the healing numbers by, if my maths is correct, 38 points. That's all that was in it between those two. 38 points of healing is how close these two were together. Justin Davies, though, getting 3k more damage. An incredible performance. PS4 group looking very strong as they move on to that lower bracket semi-finals. The pressure is on to see if they can secure that grand finals spot. Their opponents. Sorry, spoiler for yesterday's game. So if you're done with today's game and haven't seen yesterday's, then now is the time to click off in 3, 2, 1. Phasmophones, who took down OCE in a 3-0, will be PS4 Group's opponents in the lower bracket final. The winner of which will play the winner of the upper bracket final. Sorry, play the loser of the upper bracket final between Hope and Slitheredge, which will be the day after tomorrow's game. The order we're going: lower bracket semi-final, upper bracket final, lower bracket final, grand final. And after that, we'll be starting America. So I hope you're all excited. If the American fans are here, leave a message in the comments. Give me a what? Or something less cringe. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to PS4 Group. They continue on. Asai.net will have to wait until next season, Season 1, which is less than a month away. So make sure you subscribe to get the casts as I bring them to you, and ring that bell so you know when they come in. For now, I have been Tetcher, your commentator for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.